Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Lily, and I'm so happy that you are here with me today. In today's video, I am going to do a flip through of 3 new Christmas junk journals. Aren't they a beauty? I have completed another 3 of the 13 that I am currently working on. I do have a videos linked down below of the previous 5 that I just finished out of the 13. So this makes it 8 journals that I have completed. And if you want to see the previous video, I will have that link down below for you to watch. I welcome you to watch. Okay, so I am going to flip through this first one, and I'm going to go a little bit slower just so I point out all of the details and beautiful features of these junk journals. I had so much fun making them, you guys. They are made from repurposing packaging, and that is the foundation of the base, old packaging. And I will have a video linked down below as well as to how I make the topper from old gift boxes, and that will be linked down below. So the base of it is a food packaging, but then the topper is from repurposing gift boxes, Christmas gift boxes. And then there is gold stitching, zigzag all the way around the front and the back. And I also pointed out at the corners that there are metal corners in these junk journals. They do vary. Some are Tim Holtz book corners, and others are metal appliques with a little heart design. And that is there. And then the spine is covered with fabric, and then the back with some craft scrapbook paper, more of those I always say photo corners, I mean book corners. There are 2 signatures in the junk journal, approximately 80 pages, and the journal measures 8.5 by 6. All of those details will be linked down below. Then I also want to let you know I am having these available, or I will have these available in my Etsy shop Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. And my link to my Etsy shop is down below. And so I am releasing this video a little bit before then, just so you could see the flip through. And if you're interested in these junk journals, they will be in my Etsy shop. Now I'm pointing out here, the covers are really sturdy. The base packaging is not so, but there are about 4 or 5 layers to make sure that it is sturdy and reinforced, and it feels so good in your hands, you guys. Really, really good. The fabric goes all the way around the spine on the front and the outside cover, and that makes it nice so that it is flexible but sturdy at the same time. The inside of the journal has been lined with beautiful gold foil scrapbooking paper, and then I have a couple of tags that are tucked into that acetate pocket. And that is such a beautiful pocket. It has this beautiful red velvet like embossing on it, or flocking. It's gorgeous. Now, each of my journals includes one of my signature little house pockets, and I have a video to show you how I make these. And these are called gingerbread Christmas houses. The video will be linked down below, but I also have a playlist which shows you nothing but little house envelope pockets and how to make them. And so that video will be linked down below. If you have any questions whatsoever, please comment below and I will get back to you as soon as possible. And I clip each of these little houses to the very first page of the first signature in every junk journal that I have been making. And then inside I have tucked a little envelope to show you, more importantly, that it is a pocket, and you can put all kinds of treasures and goodies in there. I keep them in the journals to use as a floating pocket. But if you were to decide to make some of these are great in lieu of Christmas cards. And one of my subscribers actually uses these, and she hung them on her Christmas tree for her children and put some money in them for Christmas. Isn't that such a neat idea? So many ideas and so many uses for these little Christmas houses. And I've also included a little prayer card for you. These are prayer cards from my own personal stash, and each journal will include one. The papers that make up the signatures are papers from my own personal stash, and I'll go over that in just a moment. Each journal has a cute little door, and this one has been die cut from beautiful red glitter paper. The little window on the door, I've never mentioned this, but it is lined with vellum, and then I embellish it with a Tim Holtz wreath die and a little bow. And then I left the top open so that you can tuck a little tag on there. Clipped over the top of the page is a mini envelope that has been cut from a Tim Holtz die, part of his recent release from Sizzix. Cut out that little envelope and then added 2 note cards that fit perfectly in there, also from the same die. And then I embellished the front of the mini envelope with a little candy cane sticker and a Tim Holtz word. And one of the options of making these little mini envelopes is to also die cut a window, which I did, and then I added some acetate. This is a vellum sheet from my own personal stash, something I've had for a while. This was used to make wedding invitation, and it was the top layer or the first layer for the wedding invitations, but I've had them just laying around. I'm not making wedding invitations. So I glued it to the top of this beautiful plaid paper, and then I added a cute little iridescent bow. All of the pockets and the tucks that are in this journal have been machine stitched but glued to the pages. And this one is holding a large number 8 tag with some white eyelash trim and a little coin envelope also cut from a Tim Holtz Sizzix die from his newest release. And then on this one I also cut out that window, added acetate, a couple of note cards, and I added some sequins in there. So it kind of looks like a shaker card. It's not sealed. I'm just keeping it closed with a little paper clip. But it looks like a little shaker card. I love it. So that is optional. Just remember, if you open it, be careful opening it because there is little glitters and sequins in there. And then they are both tucked into this little corner pocket, which has been embellished with a Tim Holtz die for that wreath, and then that little bow and a Tim Holtz word. On the top of this page, I paper clipped a sheet from a Snowman paper pad that I have, and you can write lists, to-do lists or wish lists, Christmas lists, whatever you like. Some ruffle trim that has been machine stitched with gold zigzag thread and has been glued onto the page. More tags cut from a Tim Holtz Sizzix die, and these I grouped together. It's a number 8, number 5, and a number 2 tag. Don't quote me on that. I can never remember. But it's a grouping of 3 tags, and then with a star punch out, and then tied with some ribbon, and there is a little charm on this one. That red tag is made from felt, by the way. And then in the pocket, I added a little doily and then a tag. And those are removable, the doily and the tag. They are not permanently attached. Each of the journals will have one of these snowflake envelopes sewn into one of the signatures. And that envelope I received from my sister. She gave me a package of those. And that was a great find from a yard sale she went to earlier this summer. Lots of great papers, and I was talking about how I put the signatures together from papers from my own collection. These are scrapbooking papers. Now, I shouldn't say used to be, because I still scrapbook, but I have a large paper collection. So if you have scrapbooked, if you are a scrapbooker or used to be an avid scrapbooker, I'm sure you've got tons of scrapbooking paper. And so if you've thought to yourself, I'd like to make a junk journal, but I don't have junk papers, because you've seen the videos where they show these beautiful vintage papers, ledger papers music paper, book papers, and they're vintage, they're old. And you feel that, well, if I don't have those papers, I can't make a junk journal. Yes, you can, because if you were a scrapbooker at one point in time, I'm sure that in your closet you've got hordes and hordes of scrapbooking paper. And so use those scrapbooking papers, bring them out of the archives, and put your signatures together. And it can be a collection of both. Old papers, vintage papers, scrapbooking papers, or even papers that you've made yourself, coffee dyed and avocado dyed papers, dictionary pages and things like that. And so the possibilities are endless. There are so many kinds of papers that you can use to make your own junk journals. And the reason I bring this up is because I have been asked, what type of papers do you use for your junk journals? And I use all kinds of different papers, but mainly, and just by happenstance, I kind of leaned into using a lot of the papers for my own personal stash. Where when I started making the junk journals, I was out constantly looking for vintage papers to use for my junk journals. But then I realized, I really don't have to go outside of my own stash to build my junk journals, because I have been scrapbooking since the 90s, and collecting scrapbooking papers since then. And so that's the point I'm trying to make is, let's use what we have. We don't need to go and purchase any new supplies, or we don't need to go dumpster diving for old supplies. I'm sure we've got a lot of items in our own personal stash that we can use and repurpose as well. I love repurposing. I love using brown paper bag and packaging to make ephemera or embellishments, and also to use as the foundation piece of my junk journal. So I just thought I would put that out there. If you have any questions, please, let me know what you think and what you're using, and if you have started making junk journals for your own personal use. I'd really like to know. Okay, I kind of skipped over a few of the things, but I hope you're catching all of the cute details that I've added into these. I'll go over it in just, again in the second and the third flip through. This is a mixed media card that I've cut down to 4x6, and I've stamped it with a Stamping Bella Little Girl Christmas Tree, Oddball Girl. And I've used archival ink so that when you receive it, when the recipient receives it, you can color it. And you can leave it black and white, or you can color it. And so I just want to let you know that that is archival ink, and it is on mixed media paper so that you can play with that. I've included a postcard for my own personal stash. This is a postcard from 2006, and it is made to look vintage, so it's like a vintage replica. It is a beautiful card, and I'm running low on these because I'm using most of them in these junk journals. Between the two signatures, there is about a 1/2 inch gap, and I do that intentionally so that your junk journals can grow even more. Gives it extra area and room for expansion. And this is a snowflake that has been topped with a little rosette. And that snowflake comes from a Tim Holtz die, a die that my sister has let me borrow. And the rosette was store-bought. It was actually a cupcake topper. I just removed the toothpick. This tuck contains a postcard that I coffee dyed, a guest check, which I have stamped with a Tim Holtz Santa stamp, and also used Distress Oxide ink to stamp that Santa. This has been a new embellishment in my junk journals, this large stocking, and it is from an old Stampin' Up! Die that I have had for many, many, many years that I rarely used, or I don't think I really ever used it. And then I embellished it with one of my favorite white pens, and then I added a little tag, and then another sheet from a notepad, and then just tucked it in behind that Christmas stocking. It looks really, really cute. And then the top of the stocking I embellished with a little foam snowflake sticker. More pockets. This is the second. There are 2 of these grouped tags in each journal, and then one has a little jingle bell and the other will have a charm. I'm pointing out that this doily is coffee dyed. There are 2 doilies in each journal, in the first and the second signature. One will be white, and then the second one is coffee dyed. And it is also removable. All I did is tuck it into the pocket and held it together with that little paper clip. This pocket is embellished with die cuts from Tim Holtz. That holly is separate from the poinsettia. And I dedicated one day. When I started making these, I dedicated a whole day and I punched out everything that I had. Hollies and poinsettias and mini envelopes and mini folders and mini pockets, name it, I die cut it. This is a Regency Jane Austen inspired envelope with a faux wax seal made from glue gun. I pointed down below because if you go watch the previous video of the 5 journal flip through, at the very end of that video, I show you how I fold that Regency style letter. So if you'd like to go take a look, you have to watch the whole video. And then at the end, I show you how to do that. Super easy and super cute. I am a huge Jane Austen fan. I read Pride and Prejudice every single year. It is one of my favorite books in the world. A cluster in the center of each of the signatures, and it holds a Rolodex card, which has been die cut from a Heidi Swap die. And then I added a couple of cute and pretty little Christmas tags in there. This pocket has been embellished with a sticker, and then I also added the number 2 and the number 5 for obvious reasons, and those numbers were cut from a Stampin' Up! Numbers die that I've had for many, many years as well. This corner also has more Tim Holtz dies, and then a single-sided 4x6 scrapbooking paper. And this is a mini file folder, also from a Tim Holtz Sizzix release from earlier this year. And then the inside card is the mini file folder, which has been cut in half, and I used it just to place it inside. And it's being held together with a paper clip, and then I embellished the very front with a little cute little Santa die cut from Hobby Lobby. And then the tabs feature Tim Holtz words. An old Christmas note card from my stash tucked into this side tuck. The side tuck, I've been making them, it's pretty easy. I take a sheet of paper and I cut it down 4 inches wide, and then the length of the page or the journal, which is 8.5. And then I fold it in half, and then I place it over the edge of the paper. And then I glue at the top and at the bottom, hold it until it's secure, and then tuck in my cute little card. And then on the other side, it'll have a single-sided 4x6 scrapbooking paper. And this way you get 2 for the price of 1. You get 2 pockets with little effort. So just a little FYI there, a little tip. That way you can get, the pocket or the tuck on both sides. These are little greeting cards from my own personal stash. And I have just sealed the flap on one side and then inserted the card on the other. And I embellished with inexpensive stickers from the Dollar Tree. But you would never know. It'll be our little secret, you guys. Super, super cute. Another pocket with a 4x6 single-sided scrapbooking paper and a tag. That pocket right there is so cute, and that is cut from a die called Note, N-O-T-E, which is also a Stampin' Up! Steel rule die that I've had for a long time. It is one of my favorite. I've used it many, many times. The back of the inside of each cover will have a large vellum envelope that has been glued on 3 sides. And then on the back, I tucked in some of that beautiful plaid foil paper. And then the top has been embellished with some DIY triangle Christmas trees, topped with a little epoxy star sticker. And then the flap of the envelope has one of those gold faux wax seals that I have rubbed some gold wax on. Super cute. If I missed anything, let me know down below. This is Junk Journal number 2, and this one is called 'Tis the Season. Beautiful. Also, the topper is from gift packaging. It has all the same elements stitched all the way around, and it has the book corners. This one, however, I did embellish the top with a gold glitter snowflake and then topped it with a Prima Marketing flower. Each of the journals has a hinge clip with a bow glued onto it, which holds the little charm. And they are removable on all three. I don't remove all three, but I remove here to show you. And then I just place the little dangle over the top edge of the spine, and then I add the little hinge clip on it to hold it in place. So that is removable. And these little dangles, I did not make these. I purchased these at Hobby Lobby. Some are from last year and some I purchased early in the season this year. And they come from the mini Christmas ornament section at Hobby Lobby. And this is the back of the journal, a little bird's eye view. This is my favorite part, the bird's eye view. And then they each have this beautiful holiday trim. This was wired trim, but I removed the wire. And it just makes it more friendly for the junk journals this way. Look at how beautiful that looks. It almost looks like I just opened a present and it's just fanning out for you. So stinking cute. I love these colors. Now, I didn't stick to a color theme. I used all the colors of the rainbow for these junk journals, and they're so happy and festive. The inside of this one is lined with poinsettia paper, and it is a very heavy cardstock with glitter. The poinsettia and the leaves are a glitter. And then it also has that acetate pocket with the velvet flocking on it. And one of my signature little gingerbread houses. These were so much fun to make, you guys. They have been. And I have videos in the playlist where I show you how to make whimsical ones, Christmas ones, fall ones, Halloween, gingerbread, and which ones? Let's see. There's a whole bunch, you guys. There's a whole bunch of them. They have been very popular, and you guys have received these with open arms, so thank you very, very, very much. And it is held with a large gold paper clip with some trim, and then that paper clip will have some little dangles on it, a little peppermint stick, a jingle bell, and then a little mini light bulb, Christmas light bulb dangling from it. All of the journals will have very similar elements. There might be a thing here or there that will be different, but for the most part, they're very similar, you guys. The papers might also be different because, again, these are papers for my own personal collection, and I may not have had enough to use for all of the journals. So I just used what I have. And the papers are not necessarily Christmas papers. I went through my stash and I pulled everything. Anything that I thought could work for the holiday season for Christmas is what I'm using. Another pocket made from beautiful scrapbooking paper. And here is our Regency folded envelope inspired by Jane Austen. I learned how to make that by searching within YouTube on how to fold envelopes using origami techniques. And so I watched many, many videos, and then this other video popped up from a channel called Victoria Designs, and I'd never watched that channel before. But the fold came up, and so I watched the video. It's a video that's about 5 years old. And she showed how to do that Regency style folding, which was inspired by Jane Austen. So that is where, it is not my idea, that's where it came from. But I love it, and I will forever fold my letter paper that way. I just love it. More goodies tucked into that pocket. Gold foil acetate that has been cut down to 4x6. I'm pointing out these little presents. These are little DIY presents that I cut squares from using scraps of paper and then used washi tape as ribbon and then a little heart. Super easy to make. But I did recently discover that there are dies out there to do this. I obviously don't have a die. It is on my wish list, but it was just as easy to cut out squares from your paper scraps in different sizes and then embellish with washi tape and that little bow. Another oddball girl from Stamping Bella stamps on that mixed media paper. Stamping Bella are stamps that I discovered just a few months ago. And they have become some of my most favorite rubber stamps to use. And I started ordering a few, and my collection is growing. And the oddball design is one of my favorites. So if you are not familiar, check them out. Stamping Bella, they have their own website, stampingbella.com. But you can also find them on Amazon. Oh, and by the way, I now have a storefront on Amazon. Look at that. Oh my gosh. I feel like a professional influencer. I'm just kidding. I'm not. But I know that a lot of you shop on Amazon. And my shopping is all over the place. And wherever I get something, whether it be, Joann's, Michael's, or Hobby Lobby, or anywhere else, I will let you know where the item came from if I didn't use it from my own personal stash. But to make it easy for you, I created this storefront on Amazon. I will have that link down below, and you will be able to see the Stamping Bella stamps. And a lot of the items that are on my storefront are items that I have personally used, and some of my favorites as well. So I invite you to go take a look at that. So if there's anything else that you're interested in, just let me know, and I could add it in there. If you have any questions about what's on that list, just let me know. Thank you very much. Thank you in advance. And I do have to say that if you do make a purchase using my storefront Amazon link, as an affiliate, I do receive a small commission from all of or if you make a purchase from there. That does not affect you in any way. That's my little business disclaimer, you guys. Thank you in advance. All right. I love these so much. And so now this makes 8 junk journals that I have completed, which means that I still have an additional 5 that I need to hurry and work on. I'm trying to hurry, you guys, but we are a week away from Christmas. I may not get these up before Christmas, but they'll still be up because they're still beautiful. Like, I won't be documenting or journaling into my own personal December winter holiday junk journal until after Christmas. So if you're going to be anything like me and you have not done any journaling daily because, it's a busy time of the year, and you wait until after Christmas or in January to fill in your December junk journal, then these will be perfect for you. So I don't know when I'll have the other 5. I will release them as I finish them, just like this. I thought I would have more done by now, but 3 is pretty good. 3 is a lot. I can't believe I took on 13, you guys. I am invincible. Right. No. I am not. Believe me, I am not. More goodies again in the pockets. And then my little DIY Christmas trees, just like I made the little gifts from cutting squares, I did the same with the Christmas trees, and I cut triangles from the scraps and then topped them with little stars and some little words. And they're just absolutely cute. If you group them together, you can do 2 or 3 and then embellish. Oh my gosh, they look so cute, you guys. These journals feel so good in my hand. The size is just absolutely perfect. Okay, I want to tell you something about this junk journal, and I will point it out in just a moment because it's different from the others. It's still made from cereal box. It has the topper, which is made from repurposing, a Christmas gift box. This one reads Frosty in dimensional glittery letters. Has the photo corners. But that spine, you guys, that spine is it's almost 2.5 inches wide. Can you believe that? I have been talking for months and months and months about how I like my spines to be no bigger than 2 inches. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened here, but all of a sudden it's 2.5 inches wide. I think what happened is I lost track of what I was doing and I got carried away. All the others are 2 inches wide, but this one is 2.5 inches wide. And so it's wider than I like, but it doesn't make it any worse at all. It's still beautiful and it still feels good in your hands. I was just really surprised that it passed quality control at 2.5 inches. I'm telling you, if you watched my previous video, you know we were having issues with that lady in quality control. Me. So she did the same thing with this one. She missed that 2-inch mark, but it's still beautiful. And you know what that means? It just means that it can grow even more. You can fill it in with more goodies. And so it's going to expand and hold all your treasures even better. Another one of my signature Christmas gingerbread houses. And I have attached it with one of those large paper clips, which holds a little bit of ribbon and the 3 little dangles from it. And also a prayer card. That page, that craft page, is so beautiful. It has the gold foil branches on it. Such pretty paper. I love it so much. So the papers, you'll notice, are a little bit different. And here is the white doily. Again, removable. So if you don't want it to live in that pocket, you can easily just pull it out. And this one holds the first of the 2 tags, set of tags. Mini envelope clipped at the top. And then my little vellum upper tuck, because you can hold an item under there as a tuck and it will stay put, believe it or not. Oh, look at that. That was a happy accident. I accidentally glued 2 ruffle trims back to back. I don't usually do that, but I did for this one. And it turned out kind of nice. So that's why I'm calling it a happy accident. Another little oddball girl on the mixed media paper. And I thought that by adding these in there, it would be a nice little addition. In the fall journals, I did something similar, but I went ahead and I colored it for you, which I planned on doing with these had I not been kind of crunched with time. But then I thought it would be a really good idea to include it for you to color it. So that would be fun. Look at this beautiful cloud silver foil paper. I use a lot of the gold foil, not so much of the silver foil. So these were nice finds in my stash as well. I love all the foil. All of the glitter and shimmer and sparkly things, bring it. I love it. Oh, speaking of, and then I added a little star on that tuck. And that's pretty paper. It reads Merry Christmas. This store, I did not use glitter paper, but I did use a beautiful red cardstock. Oh, the inside, did you see the inside of that door? It was green glitter. It says, come on in, we've got a party going on. That's what that means. And then a vellum quote. Each of the journals has one. I didn't point it out in the other 2, but there is a vellum little quote card in each of the journals, along with one of those recipe cards. And those recipe cards came from Hobby Lobby. I discovered them a couple years ago, and I've been using them ever since. I did make the mistake one time saying that I purchased those recipe cards at an antique boutique in Salt Lake City. I did not. Those are from Hobby Lobby. I have used different ones. They are pink that I purchased from a antique boutique in Salt Lake, but I got mixed up. But just so you know, I just want to put it out there. Those are from Hobby Lobby. And they're beautiful because they have that gold foiling all around the edge. I love them. You can document your favorite recipe, or you can even use those recipe cards for journaling. I have done both in my own personal Christmas junk journals. I have documented some of the recipes that we had for the holidays, and then I've used other cards to journal on and talk about the meals that we've eaten. So that is just one of the ideas for you if you're uncertain how to use recipe cards in your junk journals. I did have one of my subscribers ask how we use these books. And these books are journals, like a diary, like a notebook. So you can use them however you want to use. If you used a scrapbook, you can use these almost like a scrapbook. Put pictures in there and, just like a scrapbook. If you keep a diary, you can jot down your thoughts in these journals. If you are a journaler, then you can journal, which is very similar to diary keeping or memory keeping. You can do that as well. You can also use these. You know what these are also good for? For a guest sign-in book. So let's say you know someone that is having a wedding in December and they love DIY and handmade items. Wouldn't this make a beautiful guest sign-in book? You can also have a guest sign-in book if you have a bread and breakfast. Bread and breakfast. That doesn't sound right. Bed and breakfast. Pardon me. A bed and breakfast. Or you can even have a guest sign-in book in your own home. And you leave it out, and every time you have a guest come through your front door, they can sign your book, just like when you were in junior high and high school and you'd have people sign your yearbook, just like this, you guys. So those are ideas I'm just putting out there. But I think a west, oh my gosh, I can't speak, you guys. Believe me, trust me, I do speak normal. Just not today when I'm being recorded. But I think the best idea is to use these as a guest sign-in book. I think that would be fantastic. A fantastic idea. You guys, I wish you a beautiful Merry Christmas, a beautiful holiday season. I hope that you and your loved ones find yourself well. Sending you big hugs. You guys are amazing, and you have helped my channel grow to almost 5,000. And because of you, I think I'm going to hit 5,000 before the end of the year. I'm sending each and every one of you a big, big hug as a thank you for supporting my YouTube channel, for being here and helping me make it grow, and also for being a huge supporter of my Etsy shop. I appreciate you, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. 2022 was tough, but in the beginning, but it turned out to be an amazing year of personal growth. Thank you so much, and business growth as well. You guys are awesome. Big hugs to each and every one of you. You guys take care, and I will see you next time. Bye.